Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into a story about shattered dreams and a quirky life. She glanced at the snoozing Huang with excitement, headed to class, and even left him breakfast, believing a new life was just around the corner. But fate had other plans and slapped her right back. Huang was furious, feeling utterly insulted. As a result, Wan Keling became the school's biggest punchline, truly turning into a major joke. Some said she was harassing young artists, and after a series of blows to her spirit, she decided to take the express route off this roller. Fate just loves pranking her. She fell into a bush and ended up with a fracture, leading to an urgent visit from Zhu Yu. Zhu Yu broke the news that Huang had fled to Shenzhen, and to save face, Wan Keling spun a tragic tale. While everyone mocked her, Zhu Yu became her only confidant, and one night he unexpectedly confessed his feelings. He suggested they should just settle for each other, and Wan Keling felt a cold chill run down her spine. From then on, Zhu Yu ghosted her, leaving Wan Keling all alone, with no one to chat with. Just then, she met Hu Junquan, expecting sweet romance, but fate taught her another lesson. Hu Junquan was a ballet lover and a dance teacher, but in those rigid times, dance was far from universally accepted. And a big guy doing ballet? You could imagine the reaction. The crew performed outside the theatre, and Hu Junquan was ready to. But the moment he hit the stage, laughter erupted. His graceful ballet moves obliterated any hint of masculinity. Even though Hu Junquan performed brilliantly, he was mocked as flamboyant, with some imitating him for laughs. The crowd chuckled so much that many just walked out, leaving Hu Junquan's pride in tatters once again. He awkwardly dashed off, and up next was a soprano solo featuring Wan Keling. Everyone hoped her singing would save the day, but audience members were just visually stimulated. After the show, Hu Junquan and Wan Keling found themselves on the same bus, where someone remarked how they'd clash like oil. They consoled each other and felt an instant kinship, realizing they were both misfits in this mundane world. At the dinner table, Wan Keling couldn't stop praising Hu Junquan, claiming she seemed like a walking poem. Wan Keling said, "You might look like a llama, but you're truly a talent." Hu Junquan burst into laughter, in basically the superhero version of this city. Both felt a bit out there, but found a special connection in their banter. Hu Junquan self-deprecatingly remarked, "I'm just trouble. Who'd want to get tangled with me?" A few days later, during dance practice, that mystery got reignited. "Liaoshi, your performance was incredible. I just got back from Thailand, and everyone thinks you're way better." The crowd initially all laughed, but then instantly fell silent. Chairman Zhang's words rang very clear. The so-called mystery was whether Hu Junquan was truly a legitimate man. To ease the minds of the masses, she hatched a bizarre plan and approached Wan Keling. She carefully suggested, "Keling, let's pretend to be married. That should stop the rumors." Wan Keling could have accepted, but she turned down Hu Junquan's proposal. If Hu Junquan were genuinely interested in marrying her, she might have considered it, but she didn't want to be a shield for anyone. Hu Junquan was so devastated, crying like it was pouring rain, realizing she was just as exhausted. One day, she took her mother for a walk in the park and ran into her student Qiuhui, only for her husband to lash out at Hu Junquan. Her husband barked, "Stay away from people like her." Hu Junquan was used to the insults, but felt a pang of discomfort. This left Hu Junquan feeling blue, and the next day during class, she suddenly called Qiuhui out. Qiuhui was all excited, thinking she might get some special treatment, only to be dragged into the restroom. "Hu Liaoshi, did you call for me?" Hu Junquan used this extreme method to prove she was indeed a real man. She chose Qiuhui simply because she had no interest in women. It was just a random target. Once Hu Junquan went to jail, it was said she was no longer Qiuhui's husband. The whole mess started when her classmate claimed she was a second-rate person. After her arrest, Wan Keling showed up to visit. Subtitles: Wan Keling, with a teasing tone, joked, "Looks like you're really living the good life here." Hu Junquan grinned. "This place isn't bad, honestly. I envy you guys outside." She thought being in jail was a kind of freedom from all the mundane life. But in reality, this would only make her situation more awkward. Hu Jinquan was loyal to her dreams, but was also quite extreme, overlooking Wan Keiling's feelings. That night, Wan Keiling got tipsy at a bar, lamenting to the bartender that she was a soprano of the National. The bartender couldn't help but advise her, "Lady, maybe lay off the drinks.